Good afternoon, and thank you for inviting me to speak with you today on how HR analytics can help us tackle some of our current employee concerns. My name is Angie Haywood, HR Director, and I am excited to share how we can implement HR analytics to make informed decisions based on data. To begin, let's explore the benefits of HR analytics. HR analytics can provide fact-based decision making about our employees, maximize recruitment and selection processes to attract and retain top talent, enhance employee engagement, satisfaction, and retention, improve workforce productivity, efficiency, and overall organizational performance, mitigate risks related to compliance, diversity, and organizational change, and help to answer questions about why and what will happen as part of a larger strategy to drive better decision making. So, what are our current challenges? Now, without HR analytics, this would have been me wondering, how do we solve for absenteeism, evaluating job value, and the need for workplace flexibility to retain our top talent? But using HR analytics removes the stress of reinventing the wheel. With data, we can effectively face our challenges head on and make impactful decisions to encourage positive change. Let me show you how. The CREPIT model is Casio Raymond's estimate of performance in dollars. It is used to estimate the financial impact of an employee's performance on the organization. It quantifies the value an employee contributes to the organization in financial terms. And lastly, it quantifies performance in dollars so we can better measure the impact of our human capital and talent management practices on overall business success. Let's dive into CREPIT. First, we identify principal activities. We then rate each principal activity in terms of time, frequency, and importance. Research shows that a simple 0 to 7 Likert type rating scale is sufficient. Next, we multiply the time, frequency, and importance ratings for each activity to calculate an overall weight for each activity. If an activity is never done, or if it is of zero importance, the weight will be 0. Next, this is where the leaders came in, and I used information gathered in my one-on-one conversations with them. Leaders were asked to assign a rating to each principal activity. After doing the multiplication, we sum the ratings and then divide the total rating for each principal activity by the grand total to derive the relative weight for the activity. The relative weight indicates the proportion of the employee's overall salary that should be assigned to the activity. The following illustration assumes there are 4 principal activities in a job and shows the calculation. Dollar values were then assigned to each principal activity by taking the average pay for all employees in a particular job class and multiplying it by the relative weights for each activity. This example uses the average salary of $62,000. Next, we rated the performance of each employee on each principal activity on a 0 to 100 scale. Then, we multiply the performance rating for each employee on each activity by the activity's dollar value. To compute the overall economic value of each employee's job performance, we added the results of step 6 across all the activities. The following table shows the results of steps 5 through 7 for one hypothetical employee, producing an estimate of their total economic value of performance equal to $76,480. Variations in job performance increase the value of this job by $14,480. While this method is more involved than others, CREPIT provides a transparent and easily understandable way to link individual and team performance to organizational outcomes. Next, we move to absenteeism. What is absenteeism? It is any failure to report for or remain at work as scheduled, regardless of reason. Some major call-out categories are illness, injury, child and elder care, bullying and harassment, depression, and engagement. And it can affect your business's efficiency and productivity. Absenteeism generally isn't as simple as an unwillingness to work, and it often implies underlying issues. So how does unscheduled employee absenteeism cost? According to one survey of 465 companies, if one excludes planned absences, vacations, and holidays, the total direct and indirect cost consumes about 9% of payroll. So what do we know about our current state of absenteeism at TechWorks? we have about a 3% absenteeism rate. We're looking at about 300 hours of absenteeism. Employers are paid for unscheduled time off. The business is made up of the following employees. We've categorized them. 30 frontline employees averaging a wage of $20 per hour, 15 administrative employees averaging a wage of $25 an hour, and management employees averaging a wage of $45 an hour. Generally, absenteeism is calculated as days missed divided by average workforce size and working days, or absenteeism rate equals hours missed divided by average workforce size and working hours. In either case, getting the right data will involve discussions with both staff and management representatives. So let's explore how we obtain the values to the right. We use a 12-step process to calculate the total estimate cost of employee absenteeism per employee. While the steps are noted, I want to call your attention to the most important discovery, which is the total estimated cost of absenteeism for tech work is $188,760, which equates to $3,775.20 per employee. By seeing the value, we can deduce that not only is absenteeism disruptive to the business, it can also have a significant negative financial impact. So what can we do to combat the challenge of absenteeism? Let's take a look at workforce flexibility and how making this investment can potentially decrease our absenteeism rate. What is workplace flexibility? Having the ability to be productive no matter when or where employees perform their work, employers accepting that things can and will change, and adopting a flexible mindset. Here are some examples of workplace flexibility ideas, but let's specifically look at work-life resources and referrals. These resources help employees balance personal and work commitments. Here's a fact. A survey of 614 senior HR leaders found that almost half of them said that employees burnout is responsible for 20 to 50% of their annual workforce turnover. The slide shows you have the return on investment calculation to influence our decision on continued investment in our EAP program. Research shows conflict between work and non-work demands may lead some employees to burnout. Workplace flexibility programs can be effective for attracting and retaining employees. For workplace flexibility programs, the measures include the investments in the programs as well as measures of outcomes such as absence and turnover. The visual shows our employees categorized. We then determined the turnover cost for each level. From there, we noted the number of quits per each level. The number of employees multiplied by the turnover cost gives us our values in the potential cost column. The actual cost is the number of quits multiplied by the turnover cost, in which we see we have $120,000 for our frontline employees, $100,000 for our administrative employees, and $90,000 for our management employees, totaling $310,000. To calculate the net benefit, we subtracted our actual cost from the potential cost, which gave us a net benefit of $665,000, which equates to a return on investment of 47%. So should we continue to invest in our EAP program? Absolutely. We are seeing a return on our investment, and this indicates we should actually consider if there are other programs we want to invest in where we will see a ROI. And the data tells us by making investments in our employees, it shows a positive impact on overall employee satisfaction. In conclusion, we have discussed 3 methods to help tackle our current challenges of evaluating job value, absenteeism, and return on investment of implementing workplace flexibility, specifically by introducing an EAP program that will help employees' personal and work commitment. By leveraging tools and techniques to analyze and interpret HR data, we have the ability to identify trends, correlations, and patterns, and derive actionable insights to take action on our current challenges and get ahead of future challenges by using predictive modeling. I hope you have found this presentation to be thought-provoking, and I look forward to being a part of future discussions that will continue to evolve the employee experience here at TechWorks. I will now provide you with an opportunity for Q&A.